Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
We'll wait for a few minutes, see if others will join us, and we begin.
Okay.
Meet Rankins Wallace. Okay. So there's three of us now. I'll wait for a few minutes more, and then hey, how you guys doing?
Doing good. Hey, everybody.
Hey, how are you today?
Doing good.
I like your library.
Thank you. This is gonna be my office one day. I'm gonna let y'all come and see it once I get it set up. That's how I want it to look.
It looks good, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to school this week. All my classes this week, I'm having them on virtual because I have flu. Started last on Sunday. Messed up my whole schedule.
Oh my. Have you had a fever or anything? Is the worst of it just a cough?
Well, I have fever, but because I'm taking medications, so it helped me to handle the fever.
Okay.
Yeah, but it makes me so uncomfortable.
I believe you.
I hate flu.
It is
you know the funniest thing is that I don't even have it before.
Really?
But as I got older and older, I started having flu, allergy. I don't have allergy before.
Mm-hmm.
You know the allergy that comes during spring that goes. I don't have it before.
And then you got it this year?
But as I get older, it's just all those things start happening. Who is the person with the name Tears iPhone? Tears iPhone. I don't know that name.
It's me. I'm here. It's Till Price.
Your last name is White.
Price.
Right?
Price. Price.
Oh, Price. Oh, Price. Okay, Tear. Okay, I got it. How about the person with name Mother of Two Gears iPhone? Mother of Two Gears iPhone. What's her name? Mother of Two Gears. Oh, Ebony. Okay, your name is Ebony. Huh? Okay, Ebony Jenkins. Okay, good. All right, I have two more people coming in. I meet all of them. Rivera Isis. Rivera. Okay. Isis. Okay, gotcha. Who else? Hawkins. All right. I think we have enough people to start. So let's begin. We have today. I think I opened too many files. Anyway, last time we did a how to buy a new an existing business. This week we're working on planning for new business. Last week was buying an existing business. Yeah.
Professor, I have a question
Yes,
before we
ma'am.
get started. Last week, section where we did the presentations and everything,
Yes, ma'am.
there wasn't anything to submit, so I wasn't sure. I didn't submit anything because we did the presentation. Was that appropriate?
The presentation is different. You have a grade for that.
Okay.
Then the paper.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry.
I see. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
I thought I saw your name. I thought I great. I saw you.
Yeah. No. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything that you needed me to do. No, I saw it. So
Yeah, you submitted the actual proposal. Then that day you have a grade for that one.
Yeah.
And the presentation.
Okay.
Have a different grade.
Thank you.
Jennifer, right? Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer here. Okay. So now new business planning. The easiest part is getting the proposal for the business. So anybody can generate an idea, but when it comes to the implementation, that's when it becomes a challenge. Even some people that might be very good at teaching you how to run a business, but they themselves cannot run it. There are people like that. They can tell you what to do, but put them in charge, they may not be able to do it. So the initiation and implementation are two different things altogether. So anyway, we plan for a new business. The idea is the easy part, but then it requires three main things when it comes to the implementation of the business. First one is the feasibility analysis, or you can call it the feasibility study. Now, from that feasibility analysis, you can know whether you should proceed with the idea. Oh, before we continue, I must mention that we'll close early today because of my because as I'm talking now, I'm having headache. I took my medication. I took medication though. I took this medication. I don't know if you know about this. So that's what I took, and it's helping me really. So we probably 7:15 we end the class. Hope you don't mind. So that I can go and lie down.
That's fine.
Sorry about that. Anyway, the business model. So when from the feasibility analysis, you can know if this is a viable business. Let's take an example, and I would like you to say something about this. If you have anything to add, a business like staffing agency, right? Staffing agency, those that help company to get employees. Now they say that is their idea. Because okay, feasibility study, is it competitive? Are there many companies already in the business? How about marketability? Is it really, does people really make money being a staffing agency? Nelly, who's Nelly? Excuse me, Nelly. I'm Nelly here. Yeah. Does people, make money? Can people make money by owning a staffing agency? Yeah. Now, how do you get it? Is it easy to get your first client when you open up a staffing agency? So that kind of question you ask yourself, and as you answer those questions, you can now know whether the business is feasible, whether it is feasible or not. Then after that, if it is feasible, now you go to the next stage, which means develop a new business model. Like, as before, I remember the time when it was the yellow cab was the most popular in those days. Yellow cab. We have other cab. We have aero cab. There's so many of them, but yellow cab was so popular. Then, but cabs were making money, a lot of money. Then Uber now went in. Yes, they saw that there is a competition. Yes, but there are some inefficiencies. There are some places that the cab companies were not really doing a good job. They figured it out. They went in and then started getting a piece of the action. Basically disrupted the cab industry. I showed you in the class. I don't know if it's your class. I showed you how the medallion for calf, the price fell from almost $500,000 to almost not up to $100,000 now. So they've developed their own model that they use to get in. Then you have the business plan. Once you have their own model, then next is to create a business plan, how to implement that model. The business plan might be how to transform the idea into the successful business. So now, having said that, we can now proceed to the next slide, which is basically a pictorial version of what I have said. You can see it, business ideas, then feasibility analysis to developing a business model, crafting business plan, and then execution. Okay. So now, let's start with look at some example. I've already mentioned Uber. How about this? Airbnb. Well, two broke friends. They are broke, finding it hard to pay for their rent. But where they are in their location, they know that the tourists come to their city, and they develop this idea of renting their air mattresses to tourists. The thing just caught fire, and that's how they started Airbnb, using people's apartments, renting out people's apartments, and they're now at a point they become a big competitor for big hotels like Marriott and rest of them. Till today, there's always there's a kind of cold war between Marriott and many of these and Airbnb and other big hotels too, because unlike before, when they monopolized the market, Airbnb came and then changed the whole equation. Yeah. So Airbnb quickly expanded into other cities and countries, and it is one of the most valuable startups in the world. How about Netflix? Netflix used to, I remember the time they used to deliver DVD to your house, to your mailbox. Eventually, that time they were competing with Blockbuster. Excuse me, Blockbuster. Now, Blockbuster, I was very, as a matter of fact, when I came to America the first time, one of the places I looked for a job is at Blockbuster. I went there and applied for the job there. But that time, I mean, I believe that they would have hired me, but then my accent was so thick, so nobody understands me. And this is a business where people comes in to borrow movies, so the people need to understand you. So I believe that was why they didn't hire me. But that time it was really popular, very popular video rental place. But Netflix was competing with them. Eventually, Netflix. I even think the Blockbuster was even more popular than Netflix. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? I think it was popular. Huh?
Blockbuster was bigger than Netflix at one point.
I'm saying that that time that Blockbuster was bigger than Netflix at that time. At some point, like I'm talking about like 2004, 2005. Right? Am I right? Now, now, where is Blockbuster now? Gone. It died a natural death because it could not innovate. Netflix innovated and started streaming service, and then from there now that one caught fire. So Blockbuster cannot survive it, and then they're gone. So by offering a subscription-based service with a vibrant library of content, and then of course through their online streaming platform as well, Netflix was able to revolutionize the entertainment industry. Even now, to my understanding now, I hear that they make their own movies now. Am I right? Netflix. They make their own movies now. Am I right?
Yeah, they got their own movies and shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called Netflix originals.
Yeah, yes, because I see it on the news all the time. So I was surprised that they have gone that big. So remember they have a different business model. Now they have to change it with a new business plan and a new business model. Sometimes when you're changing your business model or new plan, you may not even know where it will lead you to. But that's why it's good to dig very well, find out what is there or what is not there, something that probably something that other people have not seen yet in that direction. And you are the first person to see it. That can move you forward faster than you think, So now I have, so let's see how to conduct a feasibility analysis. When we say feasibility analysis, actually what we are referring to is a comprehensive study that evaluates the potential viability of a new business ideas. Yes. So usually it consists of 4 components. One is the industry and market feasibility analysis. The second one is a product or service feasibility analysis. Then we got financial feasibility analysis, and then entrepreneur feasibility analysis. So let's look at it one by one. The industry and market feasibility analysis. In this case, you or the person trying to open that new business, we assess how attractive the industry or the market is. So let's say that if it is hospitality industry that you want to go, you just there are a lot of materials you can read about the hospitality industry. As a matter of fact, any industry you want to go into today, there are a lot of materials, both online, internet, library, even YouTube too. Now, on top of that, they have industry events. Check out maybe seminar or meetings or workshops about that you can learn a lot of things about different industry these days. So I say so the industry and market feasibility analysis is where you take advantage of those materials or the information, use it to vet how attractive the industry is that you want to go into. So in that assessment, you'll be looking into things like the industry growth, potential competitive landscape, and regulatory environment. Sometimes even if you type a question online, it might give you information about the industry. Let me show you what I mean by that. You might go to the internet, I say and type, let's say that I go to Google. So as I go to Google and type in let's say for example, I will use background check industry. background checking business profitable. This is one that you can get from your home without even leaving. See, you might open up. See, this is what I came out with just by typing it a query, and it told me this: there is a high demand for services of background check firm, as long as people and organizations continue to recruit new intakes, making the business a lucrative venture. This is just one source online. And if I click on the full article here, it will give me more information. And then if I want here, yeah, this is how, if you click on it, if I click here, it will bring up the full article that will give me more information about the industry, So this is one way, but there are other ways where you can just search for any of their events. Some of them have their publications about their industry, that you can use to vet that industry. And we have one of our own person here who has a cleaning business, right? Miss Nelly, how you say your name shows as Nell, Nell. Lilli. How do you say her last name again?
It's Michelle. This is my daughter's laptop.
Okay, Michelle. Okay, Jackson, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
check it out. So we have our own person here who has her own cleaning business. We can even check that one. When you have the time, you can check it and see how that industry is doing. Miss Michelle. Now, say Airbnb this kind of analysis. Maybe they did it mentally, because like I said, as I told you, there are two broke friends. They are broke, don't have money. They can't be finding hard to pay their rent, and then Now at the first step. The second step is product or service feasibility analysis. The product you are trying to provide, is it in high demand? The service, is that service in high demand? If I use this is my personally, I look at business, Miss Michelle that has a cleaning business, where everybody wants to clean their house, everybody wants to clean their office, So I won't have any doubt at all that it is in high demand. Well, of course, there are competition, yes. Now it is now up to Miss Michelle to figure out a way to, what make her business to be unique, to beat the competition, at least in the area she's covering at the moment. So now, how about product? Is this something that is in high demand? So under the product or service feasibility analysis, the person who is about to start the business evaluate the viability of the products, concerning factors like the products or service uniqueness, value proposition, and the target market. Now, sometimes it might be an entirely new product, that we don't even know that we need before. Like before, who was thinking about buying a car that's run by a battery? Nobody is thinking about that until people that bought it. Somebody said somebody had the idea first before Elon Musk had it. Whoever had it, but in the 90s, nobody is thinking about a car that run on battery, But now they made us believe that they made us, the way they're making it now, the way it is being advertised, both by the politicians, the company that make them, the environmental enthusiasts, they're making it as if that it is a necessity to have a car that is run by a battery. Otherwise, the whole world will come to an end in one day because of global warming, So, but anyway, somebody's found out a way to make money out of it, and came up with Tesla. Excuse me. So the Tesla cars are, good example here of the products, and because of the fact that we are now in the green revolution, it becomes people buy it, even though it's expensive, and government is subsidizing, giving them subsidy. That's a lot of money to encourage them to make more of that kind of car. So the companies so far have they find that gap in the market and they started making it. Now they are, don't think that the whole that everybody left the stage for them to control. Chinese industry have now gone into the battery cars, and then, if as a matter of fact, they are giving America a hard time in terms of competition. Excuse me. So anyway, but the truth is that now, maybe in the 90s, if they have that kind of product, nobody might even think of buying it. But now it becomes like a normal thing to buy electric vehicles. But over the years, when they are developing it, it costs them billions of dollars. Investors that put money into the venture. Even though now they are reaping the rewards, but they find a product that, I mean, they came out at the right time, went every day. You hardly have spend the whole day without hearing something about green revolution, environment, yeah. So I have the inkling that some people that drive battery cars may feel that they are being good environmental citizens that having to save the earth. Anyway, I think you get the point. Now, the third part of the feasibility analysis has to do with financial feasibility analysis. In this case, the founder or the person who wants to start the business will now assess the financial viability of the new business, considering the factors like how much it will cost to start the business, operating expenses, and projections about revenue and profit. Amazon did it. What made Amazon to survive? Apart from that, they have a good business model, but it may not sound good for the people at the time that idea was initiated. Because I don't see that time how many people have computers in the house anyway. Excuse me. How many people want to buy? I mean, because if you have a computer, to be able to use a computer to buy things, you have to install through the internet. That means additional cost every month. Some people can't afford it. Why would I have to buy a computer and put an internet and pay for it in order to buy a book? But they saw something that in future, internet will gonna run a lot of things, just like electricity came in. So over the years, he focused on long-term growth. For years, more than 10 years, Amazon wasn't making profit. But now, their profit is a windfall. One of the most profitable companies in the stock market now. I mean, in the world now. So they focus on long-term growth and market dominance, which they did. They dominated the market. By the time you know it, you see all these big stores started falling like flies. Because Macy's, if you see the stock of Macy's, if you go to Macy's these days, it looks like I would say a ghost town. Unlike before, if you go to Macy's, I don't know how many of you remember when you go to Macy's in the 2004, 2005, how vibrant it used to be, or J.C. Penney, but go there now, because now people are buying online. Many are buying from Amazon. Then comes the other online platform, people that sell stuff online through eBay. Some of them are nice things. Then I'm hearing that I don't know if you have heard of this. I see it on the TV sometimes. People go into a rush, like there might be like 20 young boys rush into a store, start breaking stuff and stealing stuff. So I learned that those things they go and sell it online too. So you have a lot of wars for these brick and mortar stores that are fighting. They're fighting too many wars. So then, but Amazon is the main one that's really kicking their ass, and then because of that, well, they saw it coming, they took advantage of it, they worked for it, and then now they're reaping the dividends. So that's so they discovered that internet is going to change a lot of things. So they took advantage of it. It's a product that they want to provide, selling books online. From selling books online, they started selling other stuff online. And that's increased their profits significantly. Then next is the entrepreneurial feasibility analysis, which this component this is the component that evaluates the entrepreneur's experience, then skills and resources. So in this case, the founder of the business, we consider things like their acumen, their financial resources, and the network of contacts. Now, Steve Jobs used to work with one of the managers, excuse me, in Apple. I think one of the founders, I believe, at some point he was let to go I think it was fired or something like that. Then later on, he came back and then came back and then changed the whole equation. But when he came back, Apple was really struggling when he came back. But he came back with a new vision, leadership, and relentless pursuit of excellence. You know, and then he built a very as of last week, Apple is one of the most profitable. I think it's most profitable company in the U.S. Stock market. Yeah, either the largest company or one of the most profitable. I can't remember the phrase they use in CNBC. So, but if the founder or whoever is in charge of the business doesn't have the necessary skills, experience, he might not have the experience, but if you have the skill, he can hire people that have the experience and the resources. It might be difficult for them to revive a company that is in the life support. Excuse me. So all this thing that I've explained, I use a Venn diagram to show it. You can see the product or service feasibility, financial feasibility, entrepreneurial feasibility, and that leads us to the industry and market feasibility analysis. Before I proceed, does anybody have a question for me? Okay, good.
No questions yet.
Okay, good, excellent. Now, so when it comes to industry and market feasibility analysis, here what we do is to assess the overall attractiveness of the industry that the business is going into. Excuse me. So you assess the overall attractiveness, how attractive that industry is. For example, these days the newspaper industry is not attractive the way it used to be, because now not many people are buying. It's only old school people like me that still buy a newspaper. Many people just read online or read on their phone or just the computer, you know. Now, under this approach here, we focus on two main areas within the industry and the feasibility study. One is determining the industry attractiveness. Two is identifying a profitable niche in that industry. Then, if it's attractive, now if it's attractive, yes, but there may be people there already. So you look for a particular niche that is maybe less competitive, but is still in high demand. You can focus on that niche. And then, so, you know, maybe by focusing on that niche, you might start to grow. So let's look at determining how attractive the industry is. In this case, we consider a lot of factors. One is that industry growth potential. Is the industry growing or declining? Well, the publishing industry, I won't say that it is declining, but it is changing. Now, before there are a lot of gatekeepers. You have to go through a lot of editors. The editor, then before you get to first of all, the editor, now the agent. Then from the agent, now some publishers don't even look at your work unless they come through their agents. But now, then gradually self-publishing started coming out. People go to people go to other small publishers and pay them to publish their work. But then self-publishing have a lot of bad names. So that came in a new way to publish. Amazon brought a new way, almost like a democratized publishing. Now anybody can publish without going through self-publishers or the big publishers that we know, like a Random House, Macmillan, all these big. as a matter of fact, there are some people that publish their book in Amazon, and the book became bestsellers. They became millionaires. So that because of that, that bad name that self-publishing had before is gradually, wearing off. They don't have, not all of them have bad names now anymore. Because many books that were self-published in Amazon or maybe Barnes and Noble have been turned into a movie, So it's no longer that a book, only the books from big publishers are turned into movie. So the industry is not shrinking, but changing. But the one that is shrinking, I think is shrinking, is the newspaper industry. More than 3,000 of them closed down, laid off so many reporters. Even said to find a community paper in these days is difficult. Yeah. So is that industry, is it growing? Does it have a growing potential? If it's not growing, then what's the point in going and investing in that industry? Okay. But if it's an industry that is growing, like healthcare will continue to grow. There are so many of them that will continue to, keep on growing, because as we get improvement in medical science, people are living longer, and living longer, that means that they will need more care, So that industry will continue to grow. There are many of them that will continue. Tech will continue to grow, because new advanced, new inventions make our life much better. The only problem with tech industry is that it can easily become obsolete. Like now, when DVD came out, it was very popular. Then Blu-ray came in, almost make DVD obsolete. Then now streaming. Nobody even think of Blu-ray anymore. People are thinking of streaming on their phone. So technology can change very fast. It can grow, but it can change very fast. Now there's the new thing that came out these days. They call it artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and other ones that can draw. So they can even draw. You give them a prompt, they can draw any people, give you an image, So if the industry is growing, how about construction is growing too? Then those in the hospitality, well, hospitality is competitive too, but it's people like to travel. People like to go to hotels. People like entertainment. It's growing. So is that industry have growth potential? How about this competitive landscape? How competitive is the industry? Are there a few dominant players or many smaller players? If the airline industry in America is dominated by a few major players, then there are some few discount carriers, but the major ones I think is for international travel we have Delta, Air France. Okay, there's one for Canada. I forgot the name. They have Delta, Air France, British Airways. Then we have other flyers like Ethiopian Airline, but these four dominated: Air France, British Airways, Delta Airline. There are two more I forgot. But then for internal travel, we have a Southwest Airline, American, US, I think US Airways or something like that. But three of them dominated. 3 or 4. They have the rest. Now, but excuse me, sorry. Those that dominated control the market. So that means if you're entering into that industry, that means you already have a challenge there. You have to figure out, how to attract customers to your set. There's some airline that came in, I think JetBlue, and JetBlue, there's another one that came in. That one caught the price of flying, but you can't carry heavy luggages. You only have,
Spirit.
I think it's Spirit. You have only a handbag, right?
Yeah. You have to pay for any. You have to pay for any other luggage.
Any other luggage, yeah. But the flight ticket is, okay,
Mhm.
So I don't know how it works for them. Do they still exist?
Oh yeah.
Okay, see, so that is their strategy. See, they now figure it out their own side because that's the only way they can get customers. Because everybody knows about Southwest Airline, American Airways, I think American Airways, and then the US Airways or whatever they call it. But three of them I know. People know about them already. But customers are always listening for low price. Now it's human nature, You want to get the same, the same service for a lesser amount of money, and it worked for them, and they, service, like she said, they are still flying. The next is regulatory environment. Regulatory environment. Is the industry heavily regulated? Are there any significant regulatory barriers to entry? So industry like banking is highly regulated. Airlines are also highly regulated. Then healthcare is regulated too. Say you want to open a pharmacy, you have to pass through a lot of hurdles, There are many of them. So if it's regulated, but if they are making money, if people don't care how much they are regulated, how much the regulation is or how tough it is, so long as they're making money, on it. Then profitability, is this a profitable service or industry? So I give more examples here. I like to use examples. Like I already mentioned Apple. So let me use Uber. Uber is Uber's founders, Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp conducted an industry analysis of the traditional taxi and the transportation industry. So there's a clip by Uber. Let me just play. Let's play just a short clip on a short version of it. Maybe I can upload this and you can watch the rest later. Okay, let's play it. Let me see. If I can open what is it? Okay, let me open his place. Yeah, short clip from Uber. Okay. It tells us how Uber started.
Uber's meteoric rise to dominate the personal transport market has made it one of the most successful and the most hated companies in history. Uber's meteor.
Can you see the picture?
Yes.
Okay, let me make it so you can hear it. Share sound. Okay.
Rise to dominate the personal transport market has made it one of the most successful and the most hated companies in history. Along with its controversial CEO, Travis Kalanick, it has developed a reputation as being iron-fisted, cruel, and relentless in its pursuit of power. Inspiring an equal measure of admiration and loathing, Uber has turned the traditional taxi industry on its head and provided customers with a more user-friendly way of getting from point A to point B. In the mid-1990s, with the World Wide Web still in its infancy, the Undergraduate Computer Science Association, or USCA, at UCLA University in sunny California, was a breeding ground for future millionaires. The association was more of a clubhouse where like-minded students could relax after class while they played games and talked computers. Though not a founding member, a young San Fernando Valley resident by the name of Travis Kalanick soon became a central figure of the group. Kalanick was pursuing a double major in computers and business. Despite the boom in internet companies up north in Silicon Valley, the USCA was mostly about fun and games. However, soon its members stumbled upon an opportunity. Because there were no firewalls back then, it was possible to search for files on all connected computers and then index the results. The group decided to replicate the time-honored practice of college kids lending out their record albums, but they were able to extend the lending fraternity to anybody who was connected to the internet. The idea was molded into a startup which they named Scour. It was a tool that would scrub a network's files looking for MP3s. Travis Kalanick was not involved in the founding of Scour because he was doing an internship with Intel, but as Scour became established and grew in popularity, he jumped on board. He was in charge of marketing and fundraising. It was in this role that Kalanick developed the on-the-job training that would serve him in later years. Living at his parents' house, he would spend up to 8 hours a day on the phone, wheeling and dealing in order to attract investors. In 1999, his efforts paid off when Hollywood power player Michael Ovitz poured $4 million into Scour in return for a 51% share in the company. Within a year, however, the writing was on the wall for Scour. Its success had attracted a competitor who would do things better. This competitor was Napster. Scour's fundamental problem was that it didn't scale. The site would often crash through overuse, and Scour was running out of fresh content. Meanwhile, Napster was paying close attention to Scour's problems. They introduced a tweak whereby listening to a song would automatically make it available to others. As a result, Napster quickly became a viral sensation. Scour tried to gain ground by moving into sharing movie files, but ultimately they were doomed. The company went into bankruptcy in 2000.
So I don't know if you remember, I said this the other day in a class. I think that was the beginning of the semester, that when you start a business or whatever you're doing and you start making money, as soon as you start making money from it, somebody is watching you, and that person will go and try to get a piece of the action. You see, it happened to this guy that one of the founders of Uber. So you can see that, and the business started collapse. So you can see that it's not really the rich also cry when it comes to business. It's not like they're having a picnic. When you see all these company founders with their big cars, big houses, big companies, you think that they are instant success. No, they're not instant success. Some of them went through a lot. Then if you're willing to go through that, you become successful too.
By the end of that year, with Scour gone, 24-year-old Travis Kalanick had no college degree and no job. He needed a new plan, and he needed it fast. Within weeks of the folding of Scour, Kalanick was on to his next project. He teamed up with former Scour partner Michael Todd to form Red Swoosh, which was essentially Scour recreated for business customers. This new startup would allow companies to use the internet to share similarly large files with their customers. Enabling large file movement was already big business, but Red Swoosh's competitive advantage was that it capitalized on the asset-light strategy to keep its costs below that of competitors. Red Swoosh pushed and pulled files from personal computers owned by others, foreshadowing what Uber would later do in connecting riders with drivers whose cars represented massive unused capital on city streets. As the CEO of Red Swoosh, Kalanick's job was to pitch the potential clients. As he had done at Scour, he set a frantic work pace, proving to be the quintessential workaholic. Despite his gargantuan efforts, however, Red Swoosh became a victim of the peaking of the internet bubble. Investments dried up and tensions rose. Kalanick blamed Todd for mismanagement and wrangled for him to be kicked out of the company. Kalanick kept wheeling, and it looked as if he had found a savior. On September the 11th, 2001, he was scheduled to meet with a potential partner investor named Danny Lewin. Lewin, however, was on board American Airlines Flight 11 from Boston to Los Angeles, which crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. It is thought that he was the first to die after confronting the hijackers. By the end of 2001, Red Swoosh was out of money. Reprieve came in the form of a father and son team who had made a fortune from a semiconductor business, James and Jared Chow. They agreed to pour $300,000 into the business in return for a 30% stake. Over the next few years, Red Swoosh stumbled along, propped up by further investment, and then in April of 2007, major competitor Akamai purchased the company, hiring the handful of employees of the company, including Kalanick. Kalanick was now 31 years old. For his share in the sale of Red Swoosh, he had pocketed around $3 million. Yet, he was now tied to a large corporation as an employee, something he had never experienced before. Over the next year, he worked to continue building the Red Swoosh brand. At the same time, he restyled himself as an angel investor for young entrepreneurs. He bought an old house in the Castro, an old San Francisco neighborhood, and named it the Jam Pad. The house became a meeting place for fresh tech-based ideas with no money. Kalanick reveled in the role of wiser, older sage who had been there and done that. His blog, which was called Swooshing, became essential reading. In it, he described his home, the Jam Pad, as a place where entrepreneurs regularly come to hang out, to rap on ideas, to jam with other entrepreneurs, to play Wii tennis and Gears of War, and to have fantastic, healthy gourmet meals made by the Jam Pad's in-house chef. Kalanick quit Red Swoosh in late 2008. He spent the next couple of years biding his time as he examined new business ventures. He also threw himself into leisure activities. He became a part of a group called the Random Travelers Society. They would randomly spin a globe to decide where in the world they would travel. In 2010, Kalanick got heavily involved with a Q&A website called Formspring. He invested in the company, but was soon running the show. At the same time, he was still looking for other opportunities. He was introduced to a smartphone app by the idea of an old friend named Garrett Camp. The app was called Uber Cab, and it allowed the user to make quick contact with a limousine in the San Francisco area. Kalanick began sharing his time between Formspring and Uber Cab. Within a few months, it became obvious that he had to choose between them. The people at Formspring were pushing him to become their CEO, but in late September 2010, he walked into a board meeting and declared, "I'm going to be Uber."
So you can see how the Uber starts now. So, let's watch a few more minutes. Then it's in the PowerPoint. So when I upload it, you can watch the rest later. Okay. Just watch a little bit, maybe 2 more minutes.
In the summer of 2008, Garrett Camp, a mild-mannered Canadian software designer, was waiting for a cab in San Francisco's Bay Area. He'd been waiting nearly 30 minutes for a cab that had promised to be there in just 15. When he saw an empty cab from a competitor company come by, he hailed it and got in. A few minutes later, though, he got a call from the original taxi company asking where he was. He replied that they were late, so he'd gotten in another taxi. This became a regular occurrence for Camp. Eventually, both taxi companies that he dealt with, Luxor and Yellow, blacklisted him. This annoyed the young Canadian, who just so happened to have $75 million in his bank account after selling his first startup, StumbleUpon. Hailing a cab was now more difficult for Camp. The taxi switchboard companies would cut him off as soon as they saw his number. One evening, while standing on a street corner and running late for a date, he had the proverbial light bulb moment. He had his brand new Apple iPhone in his hand. That phone was GPS enabled. Why couldn't he request a cab directly from his phone simply by pushing a button that says, "Pick me up"? This way, you cut out the dispatcher entirely. Camp also knew that the iPhone included a thing called an accelerometer. This allowed for the tracking of not just where a car was, but also how fast it was moving. With this technology, a map could be generated that showed the beginning and end of the trip, along with its duration and price. It would also link the rider with the driver, cutting out the middleman. On August 8, 2008, Camp paid $35 to reserve the website ubercab.com. He then began to elicit feedback about his idea from his circle of entrepreneurial friends. He also interviewed a taxi driver who complained about the hours that they were sitting idly waiting for a fare. Slowly, other people began jumping on board. One of them was Travis Kalanick. In early 2009, Travis contributed an idea that became pivotal to the future of the Uber model. Rather than buying a fleet of vehicles, which Camp was envisioning, Kalanick told him that he didn't need to buy cars, just give the app to drivers and let them be free agents. They would work when they wanted to work. The focus for both men was on limousine rides rather than normal taxi cab rides. Kalanick signed on as an advisor to Uber with a 10% stake in the company. It took over a year to develop the app. By January 2010, Camp and Kalanick began testing the service. They also began making plans to launch operations in San Francisco. Kalanick hired a 27-year-old General Electric middle management employee named Ryan Graves to oversee the San Francisco launch. Graves
Yeah, I think we had enough, right? Let us continue to where we stopped. So that'll give you a brief of how Uber, started. The guys thought that this could be a very attractive thing to do financially, and they did it and it worked. Now let's see. Identifying potential niches. So when I say niche, I mean a small segment of a larger market that you can focus on. So once you have determined that an industry is attractive, being attractive alone means that there might be people there already. So, but there might be a niche they are paying attention to. You can capitalize on that niche, and build on it before anybody notice that niche. You're already big. So to identify potential niches, you can you consider the following factors: what the customers needs, like what are the unmet needs of the customer in the industry. Okay, like this Uber own, he found that each time what customers want when they call a cab, the cab will come right away. And then, because what happened then was even with cab company, if you call, you get the dispatcher. Now the dispatcher will now look for any available cab driver that's available, then send them to you. But it's okay. Why not use my phone and request for the ride? What about the dispatcher? And the customer want to see, if you call over with your phone, or if you do it online, you see the driver actually coming, so you know where they are. Customer want to know where you are, if you are getting closer or not, which you cannot do with cab drivers. So another one is the product or service differentiation. Can you offer a product or service that is differentiated from what other companies are offering? Is it possible for you to do that? That's another thing. So another one is competitive advantage. Do you have a competitive advantage in that niche? In the case of Uber, they develop an app for that. Then do other technical magic that give them a unique position. So before they became copied by Lyft and other services, they're already big. Now, more examples. I have a whole food market that's found a niche. People want to eat healthy food. So many people believe that that the organically grown food are more healthy than the regular, food that are grown with regular fertilizer and pesticides. Well, so far science, I don't know. Maybe you might say something on this one. So far, science have not proved that organic food is more healthy than the regular food. I mean, the banana I buy, I have not seen any research that say that the one that is grown organically is more healthy than the one that was grown with fertilizer. I mean, what can you say about this? Anybody can contribute. What do you think? Even okay, let's say grape, one that is grown organically, and one that is genetically modified. Genetically modified means that just like the DNA. Maybe the DNA was crossed with another DNA to make it grow more bigger. Science have not proved that none of them, that the one that is grown organically is more healthy than that one. Am I right or wrong? Am I right? But for some reason,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but for some reason, there are many people who believe that it's almost like a religion. They go organic. So now, whole food now found out that this is a market, a niche that need to be served, and that's how they started selling only whole. Even and make it even more. They're even more expensive. Yeah, those people patronize them. Then there's this Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club entered the razor and personal grooming industry by targeting a specific niche, the affordable subscription-based razors and grooming products. And with that niche, they became big. And as a matter of fact, I think I have a clip from them, but maybe you can watch. You might want to watch that one later. Okay. So let's look at next. Now, at this point, we are ready to take a look at what is called the Porter's 5 forces model. So the Porter, this is a tool that we use for evaluating the attractiveness of an industry. It's called named after the person that developed it. So I call it Porter's 5 forces model. So this model examines how 5 forces interact with each other to determine the competitive landscape and overall industry attractiveness. So among the 5 forces we're talking about here includes, first of all, the first one is the rivalry among competing firms. So how many firms are in the industry? How many firms are competing in the industry? That's rivalry. So these forces, like I said, is they interact to determine how competitive and how attractive an industry can be. The rivalry among firms. If it is too competitive, then that means if there are many firms there competing, it may not be a good place to at least as a small business owner. It might not be a good place a good industry to enter. The next is the bargaining power of the suppliers. A is a force that is determined by the number of and strength of the suppliers in that industry, and also if there's a substitute. So if it is a business that it can be easily substituted, then it might be less attractive. Then bargaining power of buyers. So this force is determined by the number and strength of buyers in the industry, as well as the cost. Now, the last one, the previous one we talked about bargaining power of suppliers. You can think of what we have we're having recently, the strike by the United Auto Workers. They are supplying services to the automakers. So how strong they are can decide. I mean, like unions, they call it union in general. If it's the industry that have a strong union and they want to enter into that industry, then we be ready to spend big money. Then the bargaining power of buyers. If the industry that doesn't have a union, that means the buyer is the buyer's market. You are the buyer. You the owner of the business and the buyer market. Then that means you have a big chance there. Okay, and then how about the threat of new entrants? If it is an industry that is easy to enter, there's less barrier. When I say barrier to entry, usually sometimes the barrier to entry might be that the business require significant amount of capital. Like we don't have too many airlines, because airline business require big amount of capital to enter. So we can list the airlines we have in America in our fingers, because there are not many of them. So that kind of industry need to be more profitable, but is a capital intensive in the sense that not only that is big to the finance to go into that business is big, but the cost of maintaining the planes, cost of aviation fuel, and then of course the regulations involved there, it become. But still, I think that's why they're still. I mean, the airlines they still make money, because if it is an easy entry business with the kind of capital requirements and the nature of the regulations there, people will not be making money. Yeah. But you see, the threat of substitute products or services. Yes, this can be an issue too. It's one of the forces, which is determined by the availability of products or services that can satisfy the same needs as those by the industry. So think of something like a canned juice industry, canned juice, all this canned soda. That industry I would say, it is cancerous, because there are so many of them. If you go to the grocery store, went to the section for canned bottled drinks, all this candies, energy drink, there are so many of them. So to enter that business, be ready to face fierce competition. So all these 5 forces that when you factor their effect in, you can determine whether that industry you want to enter is attractive or not. That's what forces Porter is saying. I can see this chart. It says, you can see bargaining power of the firm's buyers to lower your prices, intensity of rivalry among existing firms in the industry, the threat of substitute products or services, threat of new companies entering the industry to compete, bargaining power of the firm's suppliers. All this will determine how attractive the industry will be. Okay. That's what Porter is saying. So let's look at another example here, which is the fast food industry. There's always a rivalry among the competing firms in the fast food industry. Companies like McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Then we have small ones, neighborhood mom and pop stores, mom and pop sandwich restaurant where you can buy sandwich and fries and the pizza. Excuse me. So the competition there is so rife. So this company constantly compete through promotions, menu innovations, price wars, trying to increase their market share. How about the e-commerce industry? So e-commerce giant like Amazon, where Amazon has a very strong, big footprint in the e-commerce industry. But now, recently, I'm hearing that the government is trying to shake them, to break them. What they did to Microsoft and what they did to Ford. I think Ford, right? Yeah, Ford, not Ford. What's the name of this company owned by Rockefeller? Standard Oil. Many of these oil companies you see these days are actually used to be one company owned them. They call it Standard Oil. So at the point, the government feel that they are becoming too powerful, and they break them into small, oil companies, so that they will not be too powerful. They won't control the market. So I'm hearing that recently that they are suing Amazon for some antitrust violation of sort. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll see. I will watch and see how that plays out. So we can apply Porter's 5 forces to analyze industries that we want to enter to see how attractive they are. So first of all, identify the 5 forces that are most relevant to the industry. Then assess the strength of each of them. Then consider how the 5 forces can interact. Then draw a conclusion. There's a small chart I might use. Is it like a matrix? Look at it. See, the forces here. You can see the forces here on the left side. Rivalry among companies competing in the industry. Bargaining power of suppliers. So, and in the industry, see, bargaining power of the suppliers in the industry, bargaining power of buyers. So you give them a score. For example, this one, rivalry among companies competing in the industry. If it's here, they give it a score of 5. 5 means very important, and 1 meaning not important. On this one, threat to the industry. 1 means low, not a big threat, and the 5 means high threat. So let's do this exercise with a company. Miss Michelle.
Yes.
Let's try this for the. Oh, Michelle is different. Michelle, is just you that own the cleaning company, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you called me.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Who's then? Is it Nell? How you say her last name, Miss Nell?
Which Michelle are you talking to?
Oh, Michelle
Jackson. I'm Michelle Jackson.
Jackson. Yes.
Jackson. You talking to Jackson?
Now let's see.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Let's try this game with So how the game works is this. See, if your total score is 5, it means that the business is very attractive. 5 is the lowest. If your total score is 125, not attractive. So that means the closer you go to 5, you get to 5. It means that it's more attractive. The farther you move away from 5, it's less attractive. So let's see. Now I don't know how the competition in your industry is, but I think we can try it here. See? So this one, rivalry among companies in the industry. Do you have too many people competing? Ms. Pichel?
Among companies in the industry. As far as small businesses in the area?
No, I'm talking about your cleaning business.
Okay.
You have many. You face many. Do you think competition is very important to you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what score? Remember, what score shall we give it here? Because it says 1, it means not important. 5, very important. So 2, 3, 4. You know, what do you suggest?
It's very important because there's other small cleaning companies around in the area of Carroll County, and there's also in Baltimore County. I have a friend who has his own cleaning company, and I know 3 other people who have their own cleaning company. They actually quit their full-time job to do cleaning completely. So it's very competitive.
So should I put 3, 4, or 5 then?
I would say a 5.
5. Okay, 5. Now, how about is it a threat? Like, do you think that they are so that's a threat to your business, like in terms of taking a contract away from you? In that case, it says that here that 1 is low, 3 is medium, 5 is high.
I would say a 3.
3.
Because
3. Okay. 3.
most of them mainly do residential. They don't do, I only know one of them that do commercial, but they do a little different as far as it. So I would say a 3.
Okay, 3. Okay, 3 is good. Okay. How about this? Bargaining power of the suppliers in the industry. That is, your customers. When you give them price, are they strong bargainers? Like, do they? I mean, do you have an upper hand in terms of this is my price? You know.
Yeah.
So in
I
that
would say
case,
a 4.
4.
Yes.
Okay. Because he said, remember, he said that excuse me, said that 1 means but not very important, 5 very important, 4. So he said 4. Okay, 4. Okay. So let's put 4 there then. 4. Then how about, but they're not a threat really. I mean, you still, even though you still get upper hand in a way.
Yes.
So 1 or 2. 2.
Threat.
Huh?
2.
2. Okay. Good.
A 2.
Okay. Now, bargaining power of buyers. Okay, you are the supplier, really, actually. So this one is gonna be, you're gonna have the upper hand here. This one should be for this one, 4, 2. Because you are the buyer, you are the supplier. So your own should be your own should be, see, not very important to you because you are the supplier now. Am I right? Yeah, you're the supplier of the services. Yeah. So it might be just 1. Okay, but 1. I'll just leave this one as 2. Then how about this one? It says threat to the new entrants, the industry. Well, I mean, is it important to you that if more people are coming to the business? Does you concern you? Huh?
It's important to me.
So what shall we give it to? 4 or 5? 3? Probably 3, right?
That's a 3.
Yeah, because even though people are coming in, you already made a name, right?
Yes. I have my t-shirt on.
So probably 2 here too as well. Maybe 1 here. Not a big. Then threat of substitute products. And maybe let's say technology coming up and doing more. But you are in the business, you know that there are some places that technology cannot do, right?
Say that again. Some places where?
Like you say threat of substitute products or services. For example, you say technology. You know that for example, I'll give you an example. Car wash. Car wash. Sometimes there's some of them that are self-service now, right?
Right.
But the kind of what you are doing now is hard to make it self-service because you are cleaning inside the office, right? So it cannot be self-service, that one. Am I right?
Yeah, not a threat.
Even if they're gonna make it, it's gonna take decades. By that time, you have made all your money. Right?
I would say a 3.
Huh? A 3, right?
I say a 3, yes.
Then threat to the industry, probably 2. probably. Because 2, for this one, they say that 1 is low, 3 medium, 5. So it's 2 is just 2. Not a big you're not much concerned. So we can call it a 2 or 1. What do you say? 1 or 2?
A 1.
1, okay. Now let us calculate it. Say column 3, 2 times column 3. So we can just 5 times 3, and then get it for the rest of them. So give us a total of okay, make a total of auto sum 31. Okay, not bad.
Okay.
31. So now it's an attractive business. It's 31. So it's closer to 5 than to 125. So your business is attractive. You'll be making money, Miss Michelle. Anyway, at least you get the point, though, right?
Yes.
So I think we have covered enough ground. Like I said, we're going to be leaving early today. But next thing is actually developing and testing a business model. After that one, next will be then developing the business plan. So I recommend that you read this. I'm going to upload this for you in that model, so that you can read the rest of them. Okay.
Okay.
So I will see you guys next week if I'm still alive. And I'll see you next week.
Oh,
Not if you're still alive.
I mean,
right.
if I survive this, if I survive this,
You'll be okay. You'll be fine.
You better.
Thank you,
You'll be
Michelle.
okay.
Thank you, Jenna. Okay.
You'll be fine.
All right, guys. I see you
Well,
next week.
thank you.
OG.
Have a nice night.
Have a nice night.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
So hey, I have a question, Dr. OG.
Yes, ma'am.
So is the business plan due? I'm sorry, I'm like confused.
No, not due. Let me show you what is due. This week. I think I opened their class. Yeah, this is your class right there. That's your class. So this week, what is due is complete the entrepreneurship interview. But most of you have done it anyway, right?
The interview?
The entrepreneur interview form. I think most of you did it already, right? Yeah, because when I went to the assignment, say, look, I saw that many of you have done it. But if you have not done it, then you can just go and do it.
Where is
So do
that?
we pick any entrepreneur that we want?
Interview, yes, interview. Yeah. This is the form right there.
Okay.
Okay, the interview form.
Yeah, if you haven't done it, that's the only thing that is due this week.
Okay.
Well, I thought because we done it in class, I thought we wasn't
yeah.
did.
See, right. See, if under assignment, see, that's the only thing. See?
So
Okay.
Got it.
we get to pick anyone that we want.
Huh?
We get to pick anybody who's an entrepreneur, or is there?
Yeah, the form says any entrepreneur that you know, just to interview him. Hold on, let me open it.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. Let me open it. Assignments. Any business owner. Well, for now, for Ali, for you, call a business owner. You can say that the business owner is an entrepreneur, but not every business owner is an entrepreneur. See, explain it right here.
Yeah.
This thing is
Right.
is like a questionnaire. Let me open this. It's opening it. So basically, it's explain what is on the what you need to do here. It says to develop this assignment, I went to the sorry, forget it. It says here is a selection of questions for entrepreneurs you might want to ask once you secure a meeting. Any entrepreneur, it doesn't matter to me. Any business owner, you know. Just these few questions, you know.
Okay.
And then their responses. If they answer all of them, fine. If they don't answer all of them, fine. They might not answer all of them because many business owners run. They need their time too, right?
That's true. Okay.
But the more you can get, as much as you can,
So you're saying ask them these questions and then pretty much answer them.
Yeah, what they tell you, you write them down and then type it in here.
Mm-hmm.
As the answer, their response. Then you can just let me enable this. Okay, once they get, they tell you the answer, you just click the then type answer, then type their response. Not in all caps.
Okay.
So that means you might go with a notebook. Then after you can now just write them in, and then submit.
Okay, so you want to do it on like Microsoft Word?
Be flexible. You can be on the phone, like. Then, like I said, most of them may not have the time to answer all these questions.
So I'm saying, how would you like us to upload the question? You want us to do it on Microsoft, or you said the phone? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
This is the place you type it. Okay, let me explain it here.
Where it says edit.
No, this is what it said. This is the instruction. See, you don't have to ask all the questions. You see, you don't have to ask all the questions. However, the more you ask and get answer, the better your interview will be. So you don't have to ask all the questions. So the one they answered are the one that you will now write the answer and then upload for me. Okay?
Okay.
So you might even be on the phone, you call them on the phone, then you have to ask them, you write them on a notebook. After then you type them in.
Okay.
Yep. After you have finished your assignment, then you save it on the computer like you normally save Word, then upload the document for me.
Okay.
So you might choose, you know what I recommend? You might choose one question from each section, or two from each section. Okay? And then, then when you finish them, then you can now go down here, then enter the name, your company, name of the company, name of the entrepreneur interview, then the question that they answered, and then upload.
Okay.
All right.
I got it.
See you guys. Enjoy your week.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye-bye.